How to terminate a public adjuster. Let's answer that question right now this week on the Commercial Claims Show in 3, 2, 1. What's up, advocates, and welcome back to another episode of the Commercial Claims Show. I'm your host, Vince Perry, the Commercial Claims Advocate, owner, and CEO of Elite Resolutions, and let's get right to it. Listen up, advocates. Whether you're a public adjuster, contractor, or an attorney, if you have a client that has suffered any kind of catastrophic loss, whether that be by fire or storm or just any catastrophic loss that requires your client to have to move out and incur ALE and loss of use coverage, you need to think about looking at Black Diamond Services. This is an incredible idea for a service that I think is extremely valuable, and I've actually personally used for my clients myself. Basically, what they do is they provide all of the necessary money that is needed to be done for the homeowner to go and move to another place, whether that be a hotel or another home or whatever it is. They basically bill through their insurance policy's loss of use coverage, and basically they provide financial assistance so that the insured never has to incur any out-of-pocket expenses. It's an amazing service. I love the people at Black Diamond Services, especially Millie Varela. If you just contact her and contact Black Diamond Services, I'm telling you, they're going to take care of your clients like you wouldn't believe. I personally have a client who suffered a fire damage and had to use their ALE coverage, and all we did was refer them to Black Diamond. Our clients did not have to come out of pocket a single penny. Black Diamond provided all of the financial money, and they provided the actual location for the homeowner to stay. Amazing service. Contact Black Diamond Services today so you could find out more information for yourself. How do you terminate a public adjuster? It's a question that comes up every once in a while, normally from a consumer who's concerned that their public adjuster's not doing a great job, or they're just not doing what they're supposed to do, or they can't get a hold of a public adjuster. I will start by saying probably some of the most common complaints when it comes to public adjusters that I hear from consumers is, I'd say one of the most common is disappearance, right? Is a claim does take a long time. It does tend to drag out. And when it takes a long time, well, frankly, people get impatient and they want to get a hold of their public adjuster and they want to know what's going on and they can't get a hold of them. And that's obviously an issue. I will say though that sometimes when I do get a call from a policyholder, someone who's upset with their public adjuster, I want to know more, because if it is indeed the claim just dragging out, and it is not actually the fault of your public adjuster, it is actually the fault of the insurance company denying, delaying, defending the claim from beginning to end, well, then it may not necessarily be the public adjuster's fault. It's just that the public adjuster, frankly, can't get a hold of the insurance company and can't get anything resolved. Remember what I say. We have zero intention of dragging out a claim because, frankly, we don't get paid until the homeowner gets paid. So therefore, we're not trying to drag it out. With that said, what else I wanted to say was that also a tip that I can give public adjusters, and if you're a homeowner listening to this, try to make sure that your public adjuster does this, is frankly, copy the policyholder on all communications with the insurance company. Now, I stress this because I used to not do this because I always felt like maybe there was like some kind of code between adjusters and we're going to keep it in-house and whatever is discussed, we keep it between us. I threw that out the window years ago. One of the reasons was customers being upset and thinking that nothing was going on with their claim when only they just didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. I have a lot of videos that talks about the process of an insurance claim and the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes. It's constant follow-up. It's negotiating. It's putting estimates together. It's providing the estimate. It's just like an endless list of things that we have to do. And if you don't, as a public adjuster, copy your customer, your client, your insured on every single communication, then they have no idea what's going on and they don't know if you're doing any work or not. So if you're a consumer, make sure that your public adjuster is copying you on everything. And if you're a public adjuster, make sure that you're copying the insured on all of the communications. With that said, when can you cancel a contract? So all contract usually every contract in the country has a sort of date of, what do they call it? Like a date of rescission, right? That you could actually cancel the contract. And now that could vary. It usually varies anywhere between 3 and 10 days. 10 days is something probably unique just to Florida, where in Florida, the client has 10 days that they could completely cancel the contract without any kind of issue. And really the public adjuster can't say anything. It used to be 3, so I'm going to assume In most states, probably in your state, it is 3 days. And then also we do have a separate 5-day right of rescission if there is a hurricane. So it varies. Make sure you look in the contract and see when it is. And it's usually 3 days or 5 days or 10 days plus 1 calendar day that you can do that. I'm just reading something from the actual state of Florida here that's probably similar in your state. Is your notice of cancellation must be made in writing and sent by certified mail with a return receipt requested. So it must be made in writing. It's vague. It does say certified mail actually, but if we do get a cancel contract, which doesn't happen very often, usually it will be an email and we'll be okay with doing it. The last thing I want to do is really upset my clients anyway, and if they don't want to proceed with the claim, an email is fine. And then what happens after that, if you're a consumer, make sure that the public adjusting company sends you a release where that's it. It's an official document put together by the public adjusting firm, signed by your public adjuster, saying that we released the claim and we will no longer be involved in this claim basically ever again, unless the consumer decides to change their mind and come back on. If you want to cancel the contract after those days, it could get a little complicated because frankly, if the public adjuster does not feel they've done anything wrong and they're not doing anything that is really hurting your claim and they're doing a good job, frankly, they have the right to tell you no. That they don't want to send you a release. Now, if that public adjuster has been doing a bad job and they're not following up with the claim, more often than not, they will provide you with that release. And I only know this because I've had a lot of clients that come to me and say, hey, I don't want to work with this public adjuster anymore. I want to come work with you. What do I have to do? And my response all the time is make sure you get a release from the public adjuster. Why? Once that insurance claim does get paid, you have a signed contract with that public adjuster. Well, guess what? They have the right to have their name on that check. They will be on that check. Whether you enjoyed their services, were pleased with their services or not, when that claim gets paid, that company that you originally signed with will be on the check. So if I'm the second public adjusting firm and I never received that release from you, and I work the claim and I get it resolved, guess what's going to happen? When that claim gets resolved, my firm is not going to be on the check. The first firm is going to be on the check. So make sure that you get a release from the public adjuster. To public adjusters, make sure you're educating your client. Make sure you're copying them on all communications. And if you do have an upset client that is not happy with your services and you've done a good job, make sure you try to sit them down, explain to them exactly what you have been doing. I would share a screen and show them your CRM and all the work that's been going into it. And more often than not, they will change their mind. If you just have a client that just wants to give up, okay, that's happened as well. They just literally no longer want to be working on the claim anymore. They're not going to look for another public adjuster. They're done with the claim. And if everything has gone well, remember, as public adjusters, our main referral sources are actually past clients. So if it's just something they don't want to proceed with anymore and they're just tired of the whole situation, try to explain to them the reasons why you should. Make sure you educate them, right? Our core focus at Elite Resolutions is to educate policyholders, educate contractors, educate, and you'll most likely change their mind if they're just a little frustrated. Sometimes they just need somebody to talk to. So if I can give any tip to a public adjuster, always answer your phone. Always communicate with your insured, with your client. And if you are a homeowner watching this video, make sure you have a public adjuster that has open communication, okay? That is communicating with you and letting you know what's going on and is there to answer your question or maybe just to listen to you if you are indeed frustrated. So that's pretty much it. Remember, there is a window, right of rescission. I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong, but it's usually 3 days because that's what it used to be in Florida. And I think in Texas, it's 3 days where you do have all the legal right within you to go ahead and cancel that contract. In Florida, it is 10 days now. And then after those days do expire, if you do not want that public adjuster representing you anymore, you will have to get a release from that public adjuster. But from my understanding, by no means does the public adjuster have to necessarily provide that to you. So make sure, as a consumer, that you're coming up to them sort of nicely, not so upset. I don't know. There's a million things I can say about it and how you should approach it. Really just be yourself, I guess. But if you really do need to get a release from that public adjuster, make sure that they're actually doing a bad job. Make sure you find out what's going on behind the scenes. And a tip to public adjusters, copy the client on every single communication. Communicate with your insured. Educate them on what's going on with the process. We talk about that all the time in our public adjuster course and in all of our documentation. Everything that we put together is to educate them. Homeowners will feel much more comfortable going through the process if you did that. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is our show for this week. How to terminate a public adjuster. I mean, I think I explained it pretty good. We went on a little bit of a rant there, but that's how you terminate a public adjuster if you no longer want that public adjuster to be handling your claim. You have a certain amount of days, 3 to 10 days, and after that, you will have to get a release, and they will have to agree to send you that release in order for you to terminate that public adjuster for good. And that's it, guys. That's all we got. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. I hope you have an understanding now if you hate your public adjuster and what you got to do to get them out of that. And if you have a public adjuster, if you're a public adjuster, you have a client who's pissed off at you, educate them and copy them on all communications. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you have a great week. Again, my name is Vince Perry. I'm the Commercial Claims Advocate. Make sure you subscribe here below, right over here somewhere. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, you can find us at commercialclaimsadvocate.com. If you're a public adjuster or if you're a policyholder that's just interested in claims, I've had people tell me that they've read the book and they're just like, this is really interesting. I really want to do this now. You can purchase the book on the website. We have an online course that you could purchase and watch at your own convenience. We have our intensive workshop that we do every 3 months. We have meetups that we call Advocates United, where we all get together about 6 times a year all over the country. And then if you are a public adjuster that wants to come work for us, or if you're a client or a consumer, you're looking to find a public adjuster, eliteresolutions.com is where you're going to go. And you can find out more information on the insurance claims process and how to win the insurance claim. Thank you, guys. Have a great week. See you later. Goodbye.